Oh, so my parents divorced when I was 8, and my mom lived in Memphis, well, lived around the area until I was about 9, but I lived with my dad. And my if you know my dad, he was a huge disciplinarian, like very authoritative, like I'm gonna whoop you first and ask questions later type thing. But what's funny is as I look back, I see my dad make a transition during while he was parenting me. So when we were younger, it was very much I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna ask questions later, versus when we got older where he started to have more conversations with us and just trying to figure out what was going on with us. Because, and I actually I forgot about this, but I remember my dad, he told me, you changed when your mom left. And so he started having more conversations with me. And I bring that up because like you, Crystal, how you mentioned that you didn't trust men, I didn't trust women.
Mhm.
And, I had my dad had 2 sisters, so, he asked them to be a part of my lives and about me and my sister at this time to help him raise us. So I spent a lot of time with my grandma. I spent a lot of time with one of my aunts until she passed, and she was really active in my life. And then I had another aunt who all of a sudden she just like we were close, and all of a sudden she just was not there. And so I grew up just not like, okay, I just didn't trust women. Like a man could say something to me and I'm like, okay, like I didn't think anything of it. Like I just didn't have this frustration or this hate towards men. Like I get because I had such a good dad, just a strong, source, I guess I should say. Um, so that in a nutshell, when I got married, I wanted my husband to lead. I wanted my husband to be that source because that's what I grew up seeing. Um, so yeah, it was just that when I also realized that I was married before I realized that I didn't trust women. Because it's so funny, Alicia, with your mom, like especially when I was pregnant with Deborah, she was reaching out and, just asking me questions and stuff like that. And I'm like, why she care so much? Like, leave me alone. But I also just feel like with that growing up without my mom, and not that she wasn't completely there, she just moved to another state, so she was kind of in and out. And I just really, to be honest, I didn't care what she had to say because I'm like, you left when I was like 10. You don't know anything about me. Like how can you help me? And my dad always he was always there. So that was solid. That wasn't changing. I trusted that. And so, like I said, when your mom Alicia, like she was just reaching out, and I'm like, I've just with women, we're just so nourishing, and we reach out, we communicators, we check on our children and things like that. So my dad did that, but he didn't do it like a woman would.
Mhm.
Like he would make sure I was okay, and that was it, because that's just the nature of a man. And so when your mom was doing it, it was just like I'm good. But so long I've been used to just, I guess, handling stuff independently. So I
Right.
had the independent woman mindset and not even realizing that, I had it until, we came under the ministry and we're learning the roles of a woman and we're learning, how children act when a woman is not involved. And I'm like, oh, I'm unstable. I was really emotionally unstable. Like I don't want to say crazy, but I just had um, I would just go with the wind. Like I operated out of my emotions. How I felt was how I was gonna act that day. And so that affected my marriage and how I with my kids because I realized like I wasn't that nourishing. Like how a lot of women say when they have their babies, oh, they instantly fall in love. Yeah, I didn't have that with Dora. Like it came later. It came just like as I transitioned into that role, but I had to change a lot of things. I was trying to parent her like I was a man. And so
Mhm.
coming into that knowledge, like, no, you're a woman, you have a different role. And it was it's so funny. It was like I was fighting those natural tendencies that women
Mhm.
have because I was so used to my upbringing, of used to my dad. He took care of us. We had everything we needed, but that nourishing factor, I had to change and do that for my children. So yeah.